Well, hello, hello. It's another Wellness Wednesday, and I have, like always, a little topic for you. Um, Hoping that this is going to be insightful for you as every Wednesday that I bring with some ideas. And what I bring to life is life messes because we're all full with messes around challenges, struggles, and there's so much that we can feel overwhelmed, stressed, and it will take care of our health, right? So it's like a lot of the things that we're so stressed and overwhelmed and with not being able to sleep right because we're so overwhelmed with so many things, especially right now with what's happening in the world. That it's not fun, it's not beautiful, it's not nice. So I'm not into politics or anything else, but I know that in many ways, many of us are affected just by news and by the things that are happening on our day-to-day life. So let's chat a little bit about are your decisions today borrowing from your future or adding to it? So before I start, I would love to hear if you are here on the replay or you're here, do hashtag replay. And if you're live, do hashtag live. And I would love to see your comments as I speak, whatever comes up for you in your ideas, whatever you're thinking, whatever is sinking into you, I would love to hear too. Because as we listen to people speak, as we take a class, as we listen or to an audiobook, there's always going to have insights. So when we acknowledge even those insights in those very moments, it's when we can make big shifts. I'm a very big believer that there's messages that come to us, for us, in anything that is happening. But we have to have a certain level of awareness in order to receive those insights and make them a priority so that we can take action in those things. And why I say this, because for the past 10 years, I've been going ups and downs, right? Struggling as many of us are struggling. Menopause is a phase of so many changes in our life because not only do we have a lot of body changes, our mind and our mental health is also changing. And yesterday was mental health awareness. So everything that we do is robbing us from our future. We're borrowing and we're robbing, or we're adding to it to make it more fruitful. So everything that we think, everything that we do, everything that we act or not do, everything that we say or we listen, it's adding or it's robbing. So if we start micromanaging our decisions, then we can meet them towards adding to our life instead of subtracting. And that's something that I'm very big on, is like, especially like really being true to yourself and being true to who you are, your story, because your story makes who you are today, and your story also creates your biology. So in coaching, when we start talking about your feelings, your emotions, your actions, what are you not doing? What is hard? Your challenges, breaking those patterns that you're having every day. Maybe you want to eat healthy, but there's something that is not allowing you, and you're craving sugar, or you're craving the processed foods. And I smile right now because this week I posted in several groups and in my own profile, is like, what is one type of food that you ate when you were a child? And I'm asking you right now while you're listening, what is one type of food that you ate when you were a child that brought you a lot of joy and you can remember it with fond memories? And are you still eating that as an adult? So what is one type of food that brought you a lot of joy while bringing up? And it was funny to see all the responses because they were all over the place. It's like there's so many different responses because we're all very unique. We grow up in different environments with parents that cooked, parents that didn't like to cook, or parents that wanted us to eat healthy but we didn't want to, or we didn't like to. So there is like everybody's so different and so unique. So I love to see that variety because that shows us how the world is. We're a spectrum of all colors. It's like a rainbow. We're all different, but at the same time, we're all the same. We are whole. We are all the same. So when we come to that understanding that we're all in this together, then we don't feel divided, we don't feel separate, and we don't feel so much stress. So we're all in this together with everything that is happening in the world. But what happens is that when we're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, is that we're trying to control the uncontrollables. We're trying to control everything outside, and we forget the only thing that we can control is our internal. What we think, what we eat. It's our thermostat, right? Our thermostat, our thermometer, like whatever we're thinking and feeling and the decisions that we're making for ourselves will allow us to bring that peace of mind to live the life that you want. So it's not the same for everyone. Everybody has a story, but still we're all united. We're still human beings. We're all aiming for joy, for peace, for health, for quality of life. No matter what you think, what your race you are, or what decisions you're making, or what you're doing in your life, where you put all your attention, your energy, what kind of job you have, that it doesn't matter. Everyone is looking for the same thing. So as a health and wellness coach, I help you as a human being notice where are your the things that are challenging for you, that you can learn from them and make better decisions in your life. Whether it's decisions on creating a morning routine, what decisions to do for night routine, what decisions to eat for your unique body type, what decisions to make your days more productive and more open to receive even the messages that are there for you. Because the more I apply these things to my life to be mindful, the more I understand and the more I receive the messages from places that I never expected. So I'm going to share with you a little experience even from this morning. I like to say I didn't go for my run this morning because it's raining, but I did some exercise. And I was really in the flow of writing. Writing, you guys, if you are not writing, there's so much healing in writing. So I have my journal right here. And oh my gosh, I think I have filled like, I have to count them, but probably like 12, 15 journals since I first started or more. And there's a lot of things. And what I write is what is happening in my life, what I'm learning, the insights that I'm having. And the more you start writing, the more you start acknowledging what is happening in your life and why, and you're understanding so many things. Another thing why I love journaling is because it helps with memory. It helps us. How many times, let me ask you, how many times do you ask yourself, what did I have for breakfast yesterday? Can you remember that? Or what did I eat 2 days ago? Or what did I even do all day yesterday? Are you asking yourself those questions, and can you remember those things? Those are small things, but how often we're so filled with so many things that often I come and when I forget to write 2 days, it's like, okay, what did I do? I have so many things in mind. I'm having so many conversations. I'm doing so many other things that I forget. And guess what? When I forget to do the things that I promised to myself that I was going to do, I feel in lack. I am robbing from my future when I don't stick to the 5 things that I do every morning. And I noticed because my energy yesterday was kind of low energy. And that's okay. It's okay to recognize when we're low, when we're not feeling it. And it was probably, it's a world thing, because I started listening to different people talk about Israel and talk about the news and talk about how we're receiving all these things. And I also noticed that I had lacked on my journaling and my meditation, and that really gives me peace of mind. And how we start the day sets the tone for the rest of the day. So when you're lacking some mindful tools in your day, how do you expect for your days to be, and how do you expect to sleep with peace when you're just allowing life to run through you versus you're taking charge of all the little things that can help you, right? We cannot manage outside. We cannot only manage ourselves. So what do you do when someone wants to show you something of value? How do you respond? And they are asking, what do you think about this? And sometimes we have multiple answers to that. So let me ask you, what is your immediate response when someone is trying to share with you something of value? Do you ignore it and not reply? Maybe on a text, right? How many times do we ghost people, or we do not want to respond because it is painful, because we don't have an answer? But you know what? On the other side, the other person is asking for a true, honest response. And when we ghost ourselves, when we do not reply, we're robbing from the future. We're robbing from that time, because what we do for ourselves, what we do to ourselves, we're doing also to others. So we're doing a disservice. I caught myself so many times not wanting to reply to a message because either I didn't want to make a decision, or I did not know the answer, and then I forget, or I got busy and I forgot. But you know what? The only person affected not responding is ourselves, because it's like, we're not feeling happy with a little piece of us, that we're not responding because we're hiding. And you know what? Also, that is a mechanism or a pattern that we learned when we were young. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just learning new ways of addressing things. So do you ignore and not reply? Do you immediately say no? A lot of people are like no at the first. Like some kids are like, or our spouses or something. It's like sometimes it's like you ask for something and their immediate response is no, because they put the barrier, and that way they don't have to deal with it. No. It doesn't matter if it's something good. Maybe you're trying to ask someone to look at something that you're either seeing a value, but the response is no, because they don't want to have the responsibility to deal with it, with the responsibility of your decision, right? So some people say no right away. Or do you immediately say, I'll look, but I don't think it's for me? I've received a lot of answers like that. It's like they're already closing their doors, or they say, I'll look, but I don't believe it's going to be for me. And that is very, very natural, because we don't want to assume the responsibility that if we're seeing, we have to buy, or we have to do, or we have to respond in a certain way. What if you just allow yourself to see it and really be really honest? It's like, yes, this is for me, or this is not for me. And I'm going to share a little tip for that. And the fourth one is, do you say, I don't have time? Okay, so we all have time for something that we value. We never have time for something that we don't value. But sometimes we are not seeing something of value because we're just shutting our door and we're just making the excuse of, I don't have time. And that relates to everything that we're doing, right? I'm receiving a lot of these responses and I'm learning how to deal with these responses. And I'm also seeing a pattern on myself. So I wanted to share that with you because it might give you some insights on how to respond and how you decide and how to make decisions towards adding to your future versus taking it, borrowing from it, taking away from it. So I was going to say, I always kind of lose my train of mind when I had something that I said I was going to go back to it in a little bit. Okay, it will come back to me. So here's something that you need to do, right? It's like when you forget about something, instead of saying, oh, I'm always forgetting things, that becomes an affirmation and a mantra. Instead of saying, I'm always forgetting things, just say, oh, it will come back to me, or I'm in the process of learning to do things better, in a better way. Because then that becomes, it opens again. The brain's unique task is to look for solutions. So that's why when we start to block things, it's like, oh, it does not want to deal with having to deal with fixing something or a solution. So, so I totally, I totally came back. Okay, so I that's why I have a little bit of my notes, but I have them in my journal because this morning I was telling you, is like, oh, I remember what I was doing. So I finished journaling and then I was doing some exercise. While I was exercising, the lady that was speaking, her words just made complete sense to how we are addressing life. And it's like I came up with 5 different steps that we can remember to help us make better decisions and add to our future. So 1 is acknowledge that you're dealing with something. So if you feel uncomfortable at a certain point or you're feeling stressed, I want you to learn to acknowledge that. Instead of trying to run away, we're always trying to acknowledge what is happening, because that is our teacher right there. We forget that our body is our teacher. It's teaching us what is good or where to go. But we have not learned to trust that, or we don't know how to do that. But acknowledge whatever you're feeling, whatever you're dealing with, and it doesn't make you less, does not make you less when you ask for help. Yesterday I was walking, and hey, it's like I feel that it's like if I ask for help, I'm going to be seen as something inferior. Guess what? It's empowering to ask for help, because when you ask for help, you also help the other one give you the answer that they know of it. And if not, together you can discover it together. So it's so much more empowering. So it's great when you acknowledge that you don't know an answer and then you ask for help. So a friend of mine that I'm helping right now with some coaching, and we're going through the metabolism reset, and she said, Maaike, what can I take for my hot flashes, because what I'm taking right now, it's not working and is making me feel nauseous. So when she asked, and she received the answer, and it makes me feel so happy and enjoy that I'm the one that is being sought for answers, because there's nothing that I enjoy the most than someone asking me and I have the answer for that, and it's something so simple. So that was one thing. So I kept doing my exercise. Then the number 2 is like, first acknowledge what you're feeling and don't be afraid to ask for questions, right? So to someone that can know the answers. Number 2, surround yourself with people that you can trust. So this morning, as I was finishing my writing and I was exercising, another friend of mine called me right away. It's like, Maaike, look at my mess. She showed me her coffee. I showed her how to make my coffee in the morning, and everything exploded. So like, what do I do? It's like, okay, thank you so much for asking me, because now together we can figure out what was the problem. So again, when you surround yourself with people that you can trust, you can always be asking. And please do yourself a favor, ask people, more people, to help you. As women, I feel that we have to do all by ourselves on our own. And when you ask for help, you open the doors for more communication and more joy in your life and more better solutions as well. So number 3 is try new things. I feel that when we are in this stage of menopause or midlife, we have been accustomed of doing certain things a certain way, but then we forget that we are capable of learning something new. And maybe there's a lot of projects that you left behind that you never had the time to do it. So start discovering what those are and start trying something new, because they might be messy when you try something new, like this friend making her coffee in the morning. When you try first, maybe it's very messy and it's like, oh, you make all the mistakes, but then you figure it out. But just trying new things and going through the mud, going through the mess, you will learn the process and you will learn how to trust yourself again. Because trust is a very, very important factor in trusting ourselves in being capable of doing new things. Not all the old things, but new things. We are all capable, no matter the age, to try new things and to do them. Maybe play a new instrument, or make a painting, or start drawing, or start writing, or start doing something. I like to talk, like I've shared that before in other of my talks. So try something new and be okay with being messy at first. No baby learns how to run before crawling, right? So when it gets tough, remember that why you're doing the thing that you're doing. So when the tough gets going, remember that you can do things, and remember that it's through the challenge that you will learn how to get through it, and you will learn a lot around the process. So you will learn through your mess. And the 5th step is enjoy the process. As adults, I think that we become very, very serious on, oh, we have to be and know everything right, and we do not adventure into new things and being messy sometimes. So enjoy the process. You're getting better by trying new things, new ways of doing things, and have fun and laugh. When something becomes messy, instead of punishing yourself or, oh, I did it all wrong, you just laugh and have fun. It's like, okay, I did it wrong this time, but what can I do better next time? So that is kind of the way that we're starting to make better decisions for our future that are going to add to our future and not take away from it. So, and one last thing that I want to remind you is that if you're dealing with something, right now the group that I'm leading with the Metabolism Reset, the first call that we had, they were saying one thing, is like, why were they doing the Metabolism Reset, right? Why was it important for them? And number 2, we came up with their own mantra or their own affirmation. When you have a mantra and affirmation, when the tough moment comes, then you can remind yourself, I am energized, I'm mindful, I am getting better every day, I am organized. So whatever you are looking and working towards in your health, in your family, your relationship, in your work, your systems of working, whatever you're dealing with, when you have an affirmation, a mantra, that can take you to feel better in an instant. But you have to remember that. So I like to have little post-its to remind me with that, and also help my clients do it, like, okay, write it down in several places so you can remember why you're going through this challenge, why you're doing the thing that you want to do, so that you can add to your future and not subtract from it. Everything you do matters. Everything that you do every single minute is a decision that you're making, whether you're saying yes to you or you're saying yes to others, and then you're robbing from yourself. So my last tip for today is start saying more yeses to those things that resonate with you, that enlighten you, that make you feel a joy in life and vibrant and feel good, and start saying more no's to those things that you know that are robbing you, that they don't feel good to you. Know of the things that only you know what those things are. But when you feel like your energy goes down with an interaction with someone, with the things that you're doing that you're not liking, it's like, stop going there and start looking to the things that really bring you joy. Yesterday I was down, I went for a walk, I listened to not one but two talks of two podcasters that I love to follow, and it brought me so much life again that it gave me all the ideas for today. And I slept better last night. I allowed myself to sleep a little longer, and that is also important, right? So everything that we do is either robbing us or is contributing to our future. Last thing, what you're doing, what you're eating, how you're feeding, how you're moving your body is also contributing to your health. So I was talking with someone this morning, and she's doing back exercise. She says, I don't want to be that grandma who has a lump on the back or who has back pain. And my mother also suffered from osteoporosis. So I don't want that to be that grandma that is struggling with Alzheimer's, dementia, osteoporosis, cancer, and having our kids deal with us. So if you want to join that, I invite you tonight. I'm going to do a workshop, and it's going to be live on a Zoom for you to experience and for me to listen to you as well. And I'm going to be sharing some empowering lessons or something that is very, very vital for your decisions on what you're eating and how to recognize how you feel in your body and what is the energy of each food, so that you can know what to eat better and what to subtract, so that you can feel more at balance. So if you would like to jump in tonight at 7 o'clock, comment on the link below that you want that, or if you're listening to this recording, so do a shout out wherever you're listening to. Just put it in the comments that you want to attend, so I can send you the event information and also the Zoom link so you can attend it live with us. I feel that women need more women, and when we come together, we understand each other and we have so much more fun. So with that, I let you go. Healthy Wellness Wednesday, and go and do something for you today that it makes you add to your future and not subtract it. Talk to you soon. What did you take away from this call? Bye.